In September of 2022, after COVID seemed to be settling down a bit, we did a Viking Rhine River Cruise. The cruise started in Amsterdam, went down the Rhine to Basil, Switzerland, and the trip is actually only one way, but we did a double trip and went back up the Rhine. And because of that, we hit Rudesheim and Speyer twice. One day was kind of okay, the other day was a downpour. So you're going to see kind of different weather in these shots. Even though we hit Rudesheim twice on the way down and on the way up the Rhine, we didn't really get to spend a whole lot of time here. We had just enough time to take a short walk through at night, and then on the trip back, we did have dinner in town. So there's not a whole lot of shots here, but all I can say is there's probably a lot more here to see than we got to see. The town is known mostly for winemaking, especially for the Riesling wines. Although we got to stop here in Speyer twice, one day, although not sunshine, it was still pretty nice, but the other day was torrential downpouring. This is one of the places that you would have liked to have stayed at least one night. There's a lot of shopping here if you're into that sort of thing. And although we stayed mostly in the central walking area, I'll bet there were other interesting areas we could have gone to. However, in this case, the weather was more preventing us from walking around than anything else. Speyer was founded by the Romans and is one of Germany's oldest cities. The cathedral and a number of the other churches that are here actually dominate the landscape, but it's the cathedral that is the main attraction here, and especially the tombs underneath, which have at least 8 German monarchs. Not being into the shopping aspect of things, I liked it because there was a lot of places to stop for gelatos and pastries and coffee, while others were doing the shopping. Speyer was very fortunate not to be bombed by the Allies, but the Rhine Bridge was destroyed by the retreating Germans as the Americans and their allies were crossing into Germany. This is a figurative sculpture of a pilgrim walking on the Camino de Santiago path to St. James. This is a Lufthansa aircraft that has actually been turned into a technology museum, and it's not on the ground, it's pretty high up in the air. This is a series of sculptures that represent Christ and the Mount of Olives. There are a lot of various sculptures in this garden walkway area. Speyer was founded by the Romans and is one of Germany's oldest cities. The cathedral and a number of the other churches that are here actually dominate the landscape, but it's the cathedral that is the main attraction here, and especially the tombs underneath, which have at least 8 German monarchs. Helmut Kohl, the former Chancellor of Germany, who presided over German reunification, is buried in Speyer Cathedral, which has been a UNESCO heritage site since 1981. Besides being an important place to him in childhood, it was a symbolic sign of French and German unity. Speyer was destroyed by French troops in 1689 during the War of the Grand Alliance, and was incorporated into the French Republic in 1797, but then passed back to Bavaria in 1815. Hundreds of dignitaries from all over the world came to this small town to attend this funeral. A mythological knight throwing his shield loaded with treasures into the river. However, as low as the river was, you'd think a lot of it would be showing. So much for the myth. We now leave Germany onward to France and Strasbourg.